unseen angels sent from somewhere to my...
The sanctuary indeed was here. In fact, it's been there. It's been right where it is since 1865, and that's why we're celebrating this very year the 150th anniversary. But it was different in those years. It was only the original part of the church that was there. My dad used to say that he realized we needed more space. He just didn't feel comfortable about asking people for the funds that would be required to put on an addition. In principle, he didn't have any objection to it, but it was something that he wasn't all that enthusiastic about. Also, of course, the church, the original church, really had classic architectural lines. It's a perfect gem from the period when it was built. It's one of the very earliest structures of that sort in this part of the state, and it looked just right. And everybody realized that an addition would compromise the aesthetics. But in those years, the entrance was right by the road, under the belfry, and the platform was on the west end. The stove was on the east end, right where we came in. There was no central heating, of course, in those days. There was a big old woodshed out west of the church, and there'd be some wood out there. Sometimes there'd be some coal. In the wintertime, on Saturday night, if it was really cold, my mother preferred that my dad start the fire then because it made the church more comfortable on Sunday morning. Otherwise, if it wasn't quite so cold, he'd start the fire on Sunday morning, coal or wood, whatever was out there. On the east end of the woodshed, there was another little room. It had a great big engine, a gasoline engine. It was really a generator. Back until just a little bit after the war, there really wasn't any electricity on the island, but there were a few generators, and one of them was here at the church. So I remember as a very small boy on Sunday evenings, my dad, before the Sunday evening service, would go out and turn the crank on this great big engine and start her up, and we'd have lights for the evening service. So the church was there, but it was different. And then the place where I'm sitting right now was added on in the mid-1960s. This was the pastor's study before it became the library. And there was more space for Sunday school and bathrooms. Just west of the old woodshed, there used to be the outhouse. There was no indoor plumbing back in those years. Even at the farmhouse where we lived until I was 5 years old, there was no indoor plumbing. We had kerosene or gasoline lamps and a well right outside the back door with a bucket for the water on the counter next to the kitchen sink. And in the new parsonage, actually the first couple of years we didn't have all the plumbing installed. Materials were in very short supply right after the war. So it was a couple of years before they had the bathroom really installed, and the kitchen cabinets. We had a chemical toilet in the house the first couple of years when I was 6-7 years old. But the church was here. It's been here a a long time.
Sacred scenes unfold. Precious memories fill my soul.